This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to Monday. It is the Morning Drive on Lubbock Sports Station, Double T 97.3 and Double T 97.3.com with Jamie Lent and Brendan Riker, who's in for Jeff this week. I'm Chuck Heinz. We come to you from the First United Bank studio and look forward to hearing from you today, your experiences from over the weekend, how you celebrated a Big 12 championship, what you're looking forward to on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to the Double T 97.3 mobile app for that. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, it happened. They won the Big 12 championship. How awesome was that on Saturday?
Extremely awesome. No doubt about it. Loved the way you played the game. Got a tiny bit nervous when you give up the 7 to open the game. But after that, it was, pretty much pure domination on the defensive side of the ball. And offense wasn't your best day ever or anything like that by any stretch of the imagination. But it was fun to see, just how many Red Raider fans were just really excited about it, and obviously for the players and the coaches and all that, you could tell it meant a lot, and so it was really cool.
Yeah, and it's obviously not over, as you were picked to be the 4 seed yesterday in the college football playoffs, and you'll await the winner of James Madison and Oregon on New Year's Day at the Orange Bowl. That may have been a little bit of surprise to some folks to be headed to the Orange Bowl and not back to the Cotton Bowl, but that's the way it worked, because the Cotton Bowl got to pick after the Big Ten goes to the Rose automatically, and the SEC goes to the Sugar, and then it comes down to the Cotton to basically who's closer geographically, and in the Orange Bowl or the Cotton Bowl. And for Columbus, Ohio, I guess it's closer to go to the Cotton, and then we're left with the Orange Bowl. But
so the Cotton Bowl picked or Ohio State picked?
I think the Cotton Bowl gets to pick, or it's allocated to the next highest seed goes to the Cotton. So Tech would have had to have been above 3 to go. Would have had to have been the 3 seed to go to the Cotton, because the Cotton got the next highest seed goes to the Cotton Bowl.
You're sure of that?
92% of that.
Okay.
92% of that, because you would have had to have been at least the 3 seed to go to the Cotton, as it turns out.
It's funny, we never heard anything about that last week.
Yeah.
When we were talking about the staying at 4, or the possibility of getting to 3, nobody in the know ever said, well, if you're going to get to Cotton Bowl, you got to get to 3.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're right. No, Don Williams did write an article on that I saw Saturday morning at some point in time. I'm like, oh, so we could. It was either late Friday night or Saturday morning that I saw them. Like, oh, we could go to the Orange Bowl. It's not necessarily a fait accompli, but then I thought maybe, well, depending on what was going to happen later on in the day, that like if Indiana had gotten blown out, which they did not, they won actually, or if potentially Georgia had lost to Alabama, that they would have slipped below you, and that you could have been the 3 seed and then gone back to the Cotton Bowl.
So, well, I was very disappointed that you're not.
Yeah, because it obviously takes away a home field advantage.
Yeah, it would have been great for our fan base.
Yeah, no question. I mean, it's a lot harder to get to Miami, obviously, on New Year's Day than it is to get to Dallas and get to Arlington, whatever, to play in the Cotton Bowl. But if that's our biggest concern today, then that's a kind of a first world problem.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because you're in the college football playoff, and as they said, you're not done yet. But man, what what a deal to be in this situation and to play for a potential national championship coming up as the Red Raiders took down a BYU on Saturday, which now seems like a long time ago. 34-7, you get 21 of your points in the fourth quarter, in the second half, I should say. How confident were you at halftime when it was 13-7?
I felt good.
Yeah,
I think I felt good.
Yeah,
Just the way the game was going, and knowing that their quarterback was banged up too, I definitely think it was affecting him.
Yeah, and then just the fact that your defense was playing pretty well at that point in time. After that initial, where they went right down the field, and they talked about this. Cole Wisniewski talked about this yesterday. That basically they pulled out all their bags of tricks, and once their bags of tricks were empty, that they felt pretty good about things.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
And they did that on that opening series to put themselves, down the field where, LJ Martin gets a 10-yard run and they go up 7-0, which probably, you got kind of punched in the mouth a little bit and you punch back and Stone Harrington comes up with a field goal and then you get that unbelievable catch by Coy Aiken in the end zone off the Baron Morton pass. That was acrobatic. That was
terrific.
Maybe you kind of get caught in the moment, but that may have been one of the best catches of the year, Jamie.
Yeah, one of them probably.
I think
that's fair.
Just the way that he had to turn and catch it and then stay in bounds and then presence of mind to get himself into the end zone. I saw a story last night somewhere that initially he was declared down at the 1, and then when they reviewed it, that he was in for a touchdown. I thought the initial call was that it was a touchdown.
Yeah, no, they called him out, and it looked like just terrible call if you were seeing replays or whatever. And then, that's why it didn't take long for them to determine that he was in. Yeah,
because it was hard to hear. It was extremely loud, which was awesome. And in the BYU contingent and their band, they were extremely loud as well. But it just seemed, like I said, my initial thought was that it was a touchdown, that they were just reviewing to confirm that it was a touchdown. But then, when I heard later, it's like, no, I was wrong about that. They had ruled him down and then gave him the touchdown, which he earned. They didn't give him anything. At any rate, Tech wins the Big 12 championship, headed on to the college football playoff. Lots to get into on this morning here on the Morning Drive. We'll take your thoughts and comments on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to the Double T 97.3 mobile app. It is presented by
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
This from the Yates Flooring Center chat line this morning, Jamie. I was amazed that many Red Raider fans bought up what looked like 75 to 80% of the available tickets. I had heard that BYU fans were going to be there in force. AT&T Stadium looked like the Jones East. Yeah, it sure did. I don't know what
they definitely packed their section,
no doubt,
of their allotment, but and then obviously the Red Raiders did. But then the open area or whatever was, that was high percentage Red Raiders.
Yeah. Even more than what I had thought going in, because we had heard that BYU was going to travel well, which they did.
They did.
They did. No question. The two BYU people, it looked like a mom and his son, at least, that were sitting next to us, and nobody bothered him or did anything to him or said anything to him, but maybe they just felt like they were a duck out of water. But they moved.
Okay.
And they were there at least through the first touchdown and field goal for the Red Raiders, the touchdown for BYU, and then. Who knows? Maybe she got a text and said, "Hey, we got two over here in our section. Why don't you guys come over?" So, but nobody bothered them. Just wanted you to know that nobody harassed them or anything like that.
That's good.
Yeah, no, sometimes that happens.
I saw some videos online of some fans like you could see in every game, giving it to the opponent. So, yeah. You could see that every game.
Sure, absolutely.
Especially every NFL game, but and college football game too.
Me, wife, and kid looking at $10K for flights, hotel, tickets to Miami. It hurts, but we are swallowing it. Who knows when we will be back? No, I get it. It's I'm sure expensive, going to be expensive to make that trip to Miami. But it kind of is what it is. Anything surprise you in the game?
Yeah, the hard part about the whole deal is if you have some confidence in your team, you're saying, okay, I'm going to wait till the next round.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, which is the peaceful.
These are the problems, quote unquote, that fans of Ohio State and Alabama and all of them Georgia have had to deal with for the last few years, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got a few different rounds you go into. You don't want to, end your budget in the first round and all of a sudden your team gets to the national championship game and the national semis and you have no support there. So what do you do, right?
Sell a kidney or something like that. I think that's illegal, but the game after this one is the Peach Bowl, and that is January the 9th. That's the semifinal, and then the national championship game is back in Miami on January the 19th, which I believe is a Monday, and that is a 6:30 kick our time. This one is an 11 a.m. kick. We're kind of gotten used to those, Jamie. We had 11 on Saturday and 11 against West Virginia and 11 against the home game against UCF. You had an 11 against BYU, I believe. So this is kind of standard operating procedure for the Red Raiders. Although now you've got time to get healed up and things along those lines and get some of the bumps and bruises down a little bit and kind of get your legs underneath you and things along those lines. Do you like having this much time off, or would you like to see the calendar moved up so that we're playing bowl games this week? Not necessarily.
We are.
Well, more like be moved up where maybe the college football playoffs start this week.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah, go ahead and get it going. Maybe the first round and then the quarterfinals next week. Then
doesn't seem crazy though to give them a week before the first games.
No, it doesn't.
A weekend off.
It doesn't. It just it extends it out now to January the 19th. Okay. Anything in the game itself that surprised you on Saturday, as you kind of look back at it and think about it and go, okay, I was surprised that they did this, or that they didn't do this, or that they did do this.
Not necessarily. I loved the fact that, with all the talk of us being all about the transfers, and we know how incredibly important they've been, that you had a bunch of returners step up, Koyakin having a couple touchdowns,
mm-hmm.
right? And Ben Roberts, having a big day and being the most outstanding player with the 2 interceptions.
And almost had a third.
So should have had a third.
Yeah.
And so give him credit for a pass break up there. But I thought that was cool,
mm-hmm.
that we had, Barron was really good. Not his best day ever, but I still think he was really good, took care of the football. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know that anything really surprised me. I expected the game to be a little bit higher scoring than the first time, and basically I expected to add like a touchdown on for each team, basically.
Okay.
And you kind of got that from the Red Raiders. You didn't get that from BYU.
No, your defense just smoked them, especially in the second half. It was suffocating.
Yeah, and BYU just kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
I did not expect that, I guess.
Barron was 20 of 33, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns. Was sacked a couple of times, but like you said, took care of the football. No interceptions for him. You didn't give the ball away to BYU. You did have
which is huge because the turnovers were
mm-hmm.
massive. That really took that. At halftime it's still a game, but the turnovers in the third quarter are what separated and made it a cakewalk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though you weren't putting up a ton of points off of the turnovers necessarily.
Right. And them going forward on fourth down ended up not hurting them at one point in time. They only had 63 yards in net rushing. Their passing, their quarterback was 17 of 29, the 2 interceptions. The net passing was 137 yards for them. They only had 200 yards of offense, and they only ran 59 plays. The Red Raiders ran 74 plays in the ball game. Both teams struggled at times with the crowd just because of the noise and the pre-snap penalties, but it didn't seem to hurt you. I mean, it was a setback, but it wasn't like.
No, I think it did hurt you.
You did think it hurt you? Okay.
Well, it cost you in the red zone.
Yeah,
I mean, you had two in that one red zone
true.
trip.
That's true.
That you ended up kicking a field goal on.
Yeah, that's true.
Gotta stop the pre-snap penalties.
But man,
the offensive line.
It was really, really loud in there. Really loud.
Okay, and you've practiced, silent counts and all of those things.
Right.
It's really loud a lot of places.
I know.
I mean, we got to be better than that.
It seemed louder there.
Because it's indoors.
Yeah. And there was 80,000 people there.
It's indoors.
It just seemed, and it was hard to hear. It was hard to hear the PA guy. In the red zone, you got there 5 times, you scored 4, but you scored just 1 touchdown.
Yeah, but that's not indicative of some of those times you took the ball over on turnovers, just outside the 20 or whatever, and ended up settling for field goals. Didn't go anywhere and just kicked field goals.
Yeah, but they kicked 3 field goals in the red zone. 3 of the 3 field goals were in the red zone. And then you had
and you missed 2 field goals.
And you missed 2 field goals, one from 48 and one from 49. Ended up not hurting you, but still you'd like to make those. Somebody points this out. It was still a game until late in the third quarter.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
We'll get some thoughts from Joey McGuire at 7 o'clock this morning on the game, and then on the berth in the college football playoff. At 6:45, it is This Day in Sports History. Hey, good morning. 6:32 this morning on the Morning Drive with Jamie Lent and Brendan Riker. I'm Chuck Heinz. Great to have you with us today. Jamie, what was your thought on first Notre Dame not getting in after being number 10 for several weeks?
I think a lot of people are either thrilled or outraged about whether Notre Dame gets in, Miami gets in, all of the above. I totally understand all of that. To me, I sit here and when I see that Notre Dame doesn't get in and I start looking at who is in and what's going on, I just think it's a joke. I think it's terrible that you have the 2 teams in at the end that you have in. And I'm not a Notre Dame apologist. I'm not a Miami apologist. But
you don't have the 12 best teams.
I mean, you got the first round is going to be boring. We're going to have 2 good games. I mean, it's going to be boring. I mean, Ole Miss and Oregon basically get byes. I'm annoyed by that. I hate so much the automatic qualifier thing, blah, 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 blah. Pick the 12 that are the best. I cannot stand it. It annoys me so much. And because for the purpose of me being entertained, okay, and I would rather see, as much as I'm not a Longhorn apologist, I am not a Notre Dame apologist, but I'd rather see those teams in there and be better games.
Yeah.
Or BYU in there and be better games. Or Vanderbilt in there and be better games. That's what I care about. And so, it's funny that the committee says, well, once Miami was put side by side after BYU's loss, it allowed us to say, okay, well, let's be honest. If you were talking about getting into the Big 12 championship game, right? And there are 2 teams tied for the second spot or the last spot, and there was only 2 of them, and they had the same record, then you'd go head to head. So I think Miami deserves to be in. I don't care who they lost to compared to. Okay, I'm just saying they each have the same record. They're right next to each other.
And they probably should have been ranked ahead of Notre Dame in the weeks ahead, right?
But I thought we weren't punishing. Why did BYU slip behind Miami? I thought we weren't punishing teams for losing conference championship games.
Right.
And then that's where you get to the whole Alabama thing, with their 3 losses and all the above.
And they did not get penalized for losing in the SEC championship
but
games.
Clearly BYU did.
Absolutely.
Because they said Miami moved in front of BYU to get next to Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Well, I mean, this conspiracy theorists out there, I'm not doubting them or discounting them or whatever, but the thought is of, this is what ESPN wanted all along, blah, 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 all the above.
Well, they were worried about the SEC championship game moving forward because if you knock down Alabama, then
all of a sudden teams are going to say, we don't want to play in that game.
We don't want to play in that game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So, again, this is so corrupt. There's just so much corruption going on with the college football playoff. And I don't know how teams like BYU or whoever the other first team out is. Texas was, right? Was Texas the first team out? Am I wrong there? No, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame's first team out.
Notre Dame, BYU, Texas, Vanderbilt, whatever, are losing their mind over those 2 teams that are in at the back end.
It's
Tulane
Notre
and
Dame
James Madison.
Notre Dame and BYU were 11 and 12, and then Texas was 13, and Vandy was 14, and Utah was 15. So if you looked at if you went down to, let's say you went to 16, you went to 16 teams, and you didn't have any automatic qualifiers, in the non-Power 5, you would USC would have been the 16th team in.
And what a crazy world that we live in. This would hardly ever happen, that there would be a team that would qualify from a conference whose conference champion wasn't good enough to make it in.
Right.
I don't know which one's better, Miami or Notre Dame. I know Miami beat them head-to-head, and so I lean towards thinking they both have the same record. They won the head-to-head, go with Miami. But then I'm with the Notre Dame fans that saying, well, why weren't they in front of Notre Dame the whole time then?
Yes. That would be that's the big question I would be asking. Because let's face it, if this were us, we would be outraged, right?
But the conspiracy theorists say that ESPN's in control of everything. Wouldn't ESPN want Notre Dame in? That's a huge draw.
Sure.
That's a huge draw for whatever game they're going to, and it's a huge draw for whatever TV audience they're going to get.
No doubt. Yeah, it's a nationwide university, obviously.
Yeah. So
Much more so than
that's
Miami.
where I'm like, well, that's kind of crazy. I don't think they're a bigger draw than Miami is. I don't know. The whole thing makes me annoyed with, no offense to James Madison or Tulane, but you don't belong. This is dumb. You can do that when you have 64, 68.
See,
you can't do this when you have 12.
To me, there should be a group of 5 champion, just like go back to the 1AA champion and the Division I champion. That's really what this should be.
I would be fine with that, but if they're good enough, if the 1AA champ is good enough, they're in the top 12. You get to play in our bracket this year. And
it would be difficult for them to make the top 12 based on their schedule, kind of moving forward, because their teams aren't going to play them.
Well, this is ultimately what we're heading towards anyways, right?
Yes, absolutely.
We're going to have this super conference of 64 teams, and the championship is going to be decided by those 64 teams. I don't know how long that's going to take to get there, but
what we're seeing here, it may get there quicker than not, is just with the number of teams that are opting out of the bowl. You don't blame Notre Dame for saying, "Hey, we're not good enough to play in the college football playoffs, then we're not going to play in the bowl game." And Notre Dame's done this before, where if they weren't playing for the national championship or in the BCS, where they've declined the bowl. So this is not new for them.
I think if you decline, you should have to decline for 2 years. Same thing with you, Kansas State and Iowa State,
and Baylor, and has also declined a bowl, and Kansas.
Well, Baylor wasn't eligible.
Right.
Yeah.
So they went back to Baylor and Kansas, and both those teams declined bowl games. But the Big 12.
I don't blame them.
Yeah, I don't either. But Baylor, but K-State and Iowa State have been fined $500,000 by the conference.
That's not enough.
Yeah, for them not participating.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Next, Jamie's question of the day.
Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
All right, guys, I know it's like 3 weeks away,
Okay.
and you're allowed to change this before we kick it off, but I want your score prediction for Texas Tech and Oregon.
Oh, wow.
And yes, I'm just putting Oregon in there.
Yeah, I mean, and Coach McGuire said yesterday that their preparation would be focused on Oregon. They're going to have some student assistants, GAs, and he said QC guys, which are their quality control guys, looking at James Madison.
Okay.
That's the level of effort that they're going to put into James Madison.
Yeah, I actually got an email from Coach McGuire last night asking me if I would watch some James Madison games.
Really?
Break.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And break it down because
That's how low on the list of important people checking out James Madison is.
well, I mean,
You didn't get the same email, Chuck?
I did not, and I went over there yesterday, and I was right there firsthand. He could have said, "Hey, could you look at the kickers for me?" Because I think that's where my skill set would come in for him. Could you look at the kickers for me? But Kenny
Have you
Perry,
ever kicked before?
no. But I mean, I feel like I talk about them enough that I know a good one when I see one.
I would think if there was any position that I could not coach, it would be the kickers.
I didn't say coach. I just said analyze.
Okay.
Like that kangaroo kicking that the BYU guy did. Man,
Analyze. It went through the upright. Good kick.
Wait,
Missed going through. Bad. That's bad.
Good form.
Bad.
Good form.
Bad kicker.
Goes back 3 steps over to the left or the right, and then the snapper and the holder. All those the execution of the whole thing. All right, so a score. The first score that came into my head was 35-10. Texas 10. Texas Tech.
35-10.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody on the chat line just went 31-10.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's not popped up on mine yet. Okay, I see it now. 31-10.
I'm going to say 28-17. I think Oregon's well-rounded on both ends of the football, but offensively they have struggled against the better teams in their league. Yes, shocker, a team in the playoff is a well-rounded.
No, I'm just trying to. They're well-rounded on both ends of the pointed football. I just wanted you to maybe clip that, Brandon.
What was your score again, Brennan?
I said 28-17.
28-17. Why do you do that to him?
Because I do it to him too.
Yes,
it's
turnabout is fair play.
I know, but it's so confusing because then it makes me want to call him that, and I know that that's not his name. It's like
I thought he was talking about the clipping.
Me too. I thought he was calling me out for making fun of you saying both sides of the football are well-rounded.
Yeah. What's your score, Jamie?
I wish I had the confidence that you guys have. Wow. 35-10.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, you're going to get some turnovers, and you're going to get some short fields like you've been getting all season long. I mean, whether it's Jacob Rodriguez or Ben Roberts or David Bailey or somebody along those lines.
I'll take a 24-20 Red Raiders.
You're gonna make
I was thinking of a similar score. I was thinking 24-21, but I don't know. I feel confident right now, because I think have still yet to see your offense play its best game against a top-end opponent. When I say that, I mean you scored a lot of points against Utah. You scored quite a bit against Houston. But I think as far as the total product on the field, we're not there yet. And I think the best is yet to come for that offense. I think you'll finally get to click against Oregon.
Okay.
Do you guys have scores that come into your head, or do you does like a little voice or like just a flash of like 35-10 just kind of came into my head? Do you have that, or do you like really think about it and just?
I try to think about it. Like
Okay.
I think like how much is Texas Tech gonna score? Like what are they gonna do against Oregon's defense?
Sure.
That comes into my mind. And then once I have that, then I'm like, okay, well, how much is the other team gonna score? What do I think they can do? How good is their offense? So, yeah, there's no flashing going on in my mind.
Okay, there's nothing like that.
Yeah.
We get this, Texas Tech 28-24 over Oregon. We get this, 27-19 Oregon. Too many field goals finally sink us. Let's see. Wait, we have to make our predictions a month out? No, this is like today, and then I'm sure Jamie, a couple of weeks from now, is going to ask this again.
Maybe next Monday. Maybe I'll do it every Monday.
Okay. What if by chance James Madison pulls a Duke and upsets Oregon? I mean, they won't, but we're already making predictions? Yes, Derek, we're already making predictions. When the head coach says, we're going to have some student assistants, GAs, and, quote, QC guys look at James Madison, and he gave them the complimentary, they're a good football team, blah, 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 blah. I mean, he didn't downplay him at all, but when you say student assistants, GAs, and QC guys, I mean, you're not going to have Shield Wood wasting time on James Madison. He may take a peek, and Coach McGuire may take a peek, but they're gonna focus their time on Oregon. As well they should.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And guess what happens if Oregon loses? Then they focus on James Madison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll have plenty of time to do
And then
that.
your question on the following Monday is, what do you think the final score will be between Texas Tech and James Madison?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Then you'd be.
I'm sorry if I jumped the gun by asking you guys this question.
No, I think
I
it's
just
great.
wanted to get everybody's early vibe here. I know that I stated that you have more than 3 weeks, but I just wanted to get the vibe of how people were feeling.
Yeah.
I guess I offended some folks by jumping the gun there.
Carson says this. Hey, Chuck, easy on Jimmy. Is that your name now, Jimmy?
I don't know. Maybe that's a reference to you missing Brandon's name once.
One time. Yeah. One time.
I don't make fun of you for it. I just call him Brandon. It's fun.
I know why.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Hey, good morning. We get this from the Yates Flooring Center chat line off the Double T 97.3 mobile app, presented by Happy State Bank. The Morning Drive with Brandon, Chuck, and Jimmy. Jimmy. Not Jimmy like Jimmy, tall, skinny Jimmy that works for us. Jamie. Or Jimmy.
I don't know a Jimmy. I know a Alex, though.
Oh, he's Alex?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We call everybody by the wrong name around here, Chuck.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, pretty much.
But somehow you guys get my name right. But I mean, I think people have other names.
You're very rememberable. You're hard to forget. I think if we took a poll or made a count of the name that gets brought up the most on other shows,
Oh, there's no question.
it would be a landslide
Yeah.
that your name is brought up.
Yeah.
Probably more than everybody else combined.
Yeah.
That's how memorable you are.
Okay.
So that's a compliment to you.
It was a phenomenal weekend, starting with the pregame party Friday night at Texas Live. Highlight of the weekend was getting to meet the lucky lady. Yeah, she got to meet a number of listeners on Friday night. Number of people. Well, what?
I just think that's interesting.
The highlight of the weekend was getting to meet the lucky lady.
Yeah.
Maybe the highlight of Friday.
Well, that's not what he said.
I know.
It's a little bit odd. Are you a little bit worried?
No. Nah. No. I'd say good luck, man.
Okay.
This is prime morning drive. Okay. I didn't stop him to chat because it looked like he was on a mission, and I was trying to figure out how to get to the opposite end zone from level 2, but I walked past the head man of the morning drive on the concourse Saturday. Yeah, I was on a mission there for a little while. Paul says this, loved the Buffalo snow yesterday.
It did look fun.
Yeah. And they had a nice win yesterday, didn't they?
Somehow.
Do you think they're going to make the playoffs?
I think they'll make the playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it'll be a short run. The Broncos look pretty good up there.
They do
top
look pretty
of the division,
good.
And
Yeah.
so do the Patriots.
Yeah.
Patriots and Bills play next Sunday.
National media already think Oregon will kill us.
Love it. Love it.
Sergeant K9 says this, a lot of internet keyboard warriors are saying Tech is going to wash out of the playoffs. Are y'all giving away tickets for the Orange Bowl? Yeah, the Orange Bowl ticket tree that we have out back died over the weekend.
It did.
It did. It died.
Well, there should be some tickets left on the dead limbs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would it be any consolation if we gave you an orange?
Or a bowl.
Or hear me out, a bowl with oranges in it. Then you would have an orange bowl.
That'd be fun.
All right, basketball. What do you feel like that this is a turning point, Jamie?
I'm not ready to say that.
Okay.
I don't think. Remember, we looked at the schedule last week, right? LSU didn't really have any marquee wins, right?
Okay.
We did. We looked at that, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think what this game showed you is how good you can be when you're shooting the ball well. Okay, and you were shooting it well yesterday. I think we are all smart enough to know that you're probably not going to shoot that well from 3-point range in every game.
Mm-hmm.
And so what Grant McCaslin is imploring his team to do is play a little bit harder on the defensive end of the floor and do those kind of things, because I thought they did play great defensively yesterday. Okay? Again, don't think LSU is a great basketball team. Don't think they're terrible. Again, they're 8-0, but don't think they're a great basketball team. So, but I thought the fact of the matter is JT Toppin didn't have a great offensive day. He still was 5 of 10 from the floor, so it's not like that was bad. Here's the thing that I thought that I really liked yesterday. If you remember early on in the season, I talked about JT needing to improve and passing out of doubles and triples. I thought he did that really well yesterday. Okay? The easiest three to make, the best percentage three to make is an inside-out 3-point shot. It just is. Okay? You can look at the stats of the history of basketball. The ball goes into the paint, whether it's a drive and kick out or whether it's a pass and then comes back out, that's going to be the highest percentage 3-point shots. And I thought LSU was focused on Toppin. They did a good job with that. And JT took that and said, I'm going to kick out. And he did a terrific job moving the ball. And so I thought the team passed well yesterday. I thought Christian Anderson was terrific, both as a distributor and as a scorer himself. And you hit shots. You saw how good they can be.
Yeah.
Okay, now we want to see them play like that against better teams.
Do it again.
Yeah. Well, against a good team.
Yeah.
I really liked what you did on defense too, so it wasn't just about the way you shot the ball.
Yeah, because you out-rebounded LSU on Saturday, 48-33. You had 35 defensive rebounds to their 24.
I think what we saw yesterday is something that we would say, hey, we thought this team could be this good, right? And they showed us yesterday, yes, they can be this good. But now can they play like that on both ends consistently?
Yeah.
That's the question. And I'm not saying that you're doubting it, but you just need to see that more because we've seen more of them being somewhat mediocre at times than we have seen them play at that high level like they did, especially in the first half.
They did get 18 points off of your turnovers, and 15 of those came in the second half off of 8 turnovers. So you may want to calm that down just a little bit. But just to see them play with energy and enthusiasm and excitement, that's good.
Yeah, I didn't feel like they hadn't been playing with energy or enthusiasm. You did? You didn't think there was a lot of...
I just think there were some times there where it didn't feel like that we were all that interested.
Okay.
I mean, and I think playing with some physicality and playing with a sense of urgency and, all those things.
And one name that I haven't brought up is Lawan Watts, and I thought he played one of his better games yesterday too. I thought he was really good. He ended up with a double-double. So,
I mean, I love the fact that you got out to a 30-13 lead.
I also love that.
You came out there and showed them right away that you meant business, which is great. Which is great. Now you'll have Arkansas Saturday at 11. You've got the finals break going on right now. This will be at the AA there in downtown Dallas. Of course, we'll have coverage at 10 and play-by-play at 11 against the Razorbacks. Okay, so that will take care of that. That's good. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to doublet973.com for that, or the mobile app. This, Chuck, I'm going to laugh all week. We have been the dead one for years. Okay. Basketball attendance was definitely affected by the football game. If we hadn't been in the conference championship game, they put CCG, and I had to kind of figure that out. Okay. The basketball game would have been packed.
Well, the funny part is that you almost felt like it would help attendance, right?
Yeah.
With people that were going to one would go to the other, but maybe not. I mean, maybe that was silly for me to think that.
Curious what the announced attendance was compared to tickets sold. Might have been a lot of Red Raiders too hungover from the celebrations from Saturday.
Maybe so.
Man, I'll tell you what, the people were enjoying themselves. They should. Well, they should enjoy themselves because you don't win a conference championship every day, especially when you hadn't done it in 50 years or 70 years. Long time, right?
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet973.com.